We've all been told it's the economy, stupid. GDP being the backbone of American supremacy and the gauge of the performance of our leaders. But in reality, it's the measurement of how much wealth you can produce for others. The problem with American ideology is that your only worth is based on what you can economically produce for them. People who get rich are shining examples of the system's upward mobility, and the poor, the people that indicate the flaws in the system, are used as examples of personal defects who could do better if they just really tried hard enough because the American free market system supposedly is blind to race, education, or geographic opportunity, and it only relies on merit. So, as liberals and conservatives argue back and forth about the best policies to influence the economy, it can seem that the very system by which we operate is a foregone conclusion. As Margaret Thatcher once said, Tina, there is no alternative. Studies find that from 1995 to 2021, the global population earning the top 1% received 38% of growth, while the population with the 50% lowest income received 2% of the growth. The US has had the lowest life expectancy of any wealthy country and the highest number of ODs in the world. In general, most people feel a sense of dread about the futility of endlessly producing for a system that has to use the threat of poverty in order to get you to conform, with the hopes of one day being able to retire, your reward for utter compliance to the system. We don't need to be talking about systems that make it more comfortable for us to be compliant to this empire. We need to question the idea of production and what qualifies as value in the first place. In the US, almost 40% of food goes to waste. We don't seem to have a scarcity for the most basic resource of our civilization. From the Gilded Age to the rise of neoliberalism, the US has turned from production for the sake of production to consumption for consumption's sake. Almost all of our urban centers and towns are set up with consumption and production over self-sustainability. The perfect ant farm for exploitation. With the advent of CNC machines and 3D printers, the need for complex manufacturing of commodities could easily be lessened, and communities could easily focus on local sustainability. But that's not profitable. We have the ability to provide alternative energy sources for local communities, like enhanced geothermal systems, or organize communities to reduce the need for transportation, but that affects GDP and transnational corporations. We do not value mental health, physical health, life expectancy, or communal solidarity as a resource, but as a matter for market demands to decide. You are their worker ant that produces their wealth, and they have convinced us that the only way to escape it is to become one of them, an individualist exploiter presenting our brothers and sisters as sacrifices to the god of the economy.